Okay, we're still here in Essaff Racing Central. Here with Pete Essaff. Pete and I go back, I don't know, about 50, 60 years.
77, I met you, yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah, getting close to 50.
But Pete, you are you're the benchmark. You're here with AHRMA. Your level of racing is what everyone is trying to get to in your class. You've been how many times AHRMA champion?
4 years in a row. Many times before that, I don't know.
Right.
We're running on 4 years in a row. Not going to make it this year. We went to Europe on a sidecar vacation,
right,
which I highly recommend.
And prior to that, AMA national champion a couple of times?
Yeah, 3 times. Yeah, once as a passenger, 78, and then I started driving in 80. Won it with Kenny Harold, and Gary was my driver, Gary Geiper,
right,
78. And then in 1982 with Dennis Kruger.
So, there's no doubt Pete's the most accomplished, experienced sidecar driver out here. You've been, how many more years are you going to stay at it, Pete? I mean, you've been in Pete's history. We don't want to forget by any means, because I had the pleasure of going to the Isle of Man in 2016 and watched Pete compete and complete in the Isle of Man 2 races in 2016, and that's, just going over there for an American just being there as a racer is an accomplishment.
Yeah, that's a lot of work just to go over and be a spectator too.
It is, but let alone finishing both races, that's a huge accomplishment.
Yeah, we got 21 possible checkered flags out of 21 possible checkered flags. So laps, newcomers lap went well, and had a great time. It was amazing.
And with all of your experience, let's talk a little bit about AHRMA. You've been very, very helpful in the sport growing. What do you see with AHRMA and sidecar racing in the United States kind of in the future, or maybe even in, say, the immediate future?
Well, obviously not having a national championship, they stopped at AMA back in the 80s, really diminished the fields at the club racing level. So SRA, Sidecar Racers Association, East and West, would piece together a series to call a national champion. And AHRMA is the only national series that we have to run with right now. So being a vintage club, we're very fortunate they welcome the sidecars. Very lucky about that.
Yeah, and that's one thing I really like about AHRMA is whatever sidecar you've got, be it a big wheel, be it a vintage, be it a modern F2, you're welcome here at AHRMA.
Well, AHRMA is the American Historic Racing Motorcycle Association. So during your day at an AHRMA event, you see every period of motorcycles that exist, even up to modern. But now you have your sidecars, and they run that whole periods of racing in one race.
Right.
Here at Barber Motorsports Park, we're very lucky. Mr. Barber loves sidecars, and when we have the opportunity to have 2 sidecar races, it's up to the moderns. If we come with more than 10, they'll separate us out of the vintage. Vintage are always pretty strong. There's always 15 to maybe 20 vintage at the track, so it's kind of tough when you get into the later laps. You're lapping people. So it's nice this weekend we have 2 races. It's great.
I see a little bit of a swing to more, it looks like the sidecars that are coming into AHRMA, there's more modern coming in. It looks like, as they start to dribble in and people get interested in the sport, it looks like a few more are coming over from the UK, from Europe. It seems like there's a little bit of an upswing on modern.
Well, modern is the fun. I think they got better brakes, more horsepower, and they're more stable. Vintage bikes, I've raced them for years and years and years.
They weren't vintage when we were racing them.
I had a 450 Honda, which is called the P1. It's the slowest, used to be the oldest class before the big wheels. And that was a lot of fun. We had that for 15 years and ran a lot up at Loudon and Canada with that one, and still able to race the modern bike during the modern races. So that was really good. But yeah, there's a big interest. We have new members coming in. It makes it kind of difficult because you don't have a big group of experienced racers now. You have,
right,
I'd say over 50% of the teams are new. So
that's true.
That's why it's great with Jake helping out and people getting a little bit more experience. But it's a family sport here. We have a lot of fun.
Right.
We mainly get together to have our social time and have dinner together and all this stuff, and seeing you, Larry, it's amazing. Yeah.
Well, Pete, I want to thank you for taking the time. I know you're busy. You're prepping the bike for your next practice session, and tomorrow there's 2 races, and then on Sunday we have a full day of racing to boot. Another 2 races for the sidecars. Best of luck to you and Logan. I think it's great that you're out here bringing the next generation of Essaff into the into the mix. So all the best, and thank you very, very much.